Welcome to Kenny In The Kut, episode 3. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It was a beautiful weekend outside. I don't expect everybody to stay in the house. So if you are going to go outside now that it's summertime, the unofficial start of summer is here. If you decide to go outside, please practice social distancing. Wear your mask. Not over your chin, not over your neck, but over your nose and your mouth. Because I've seen a lot of people outside not wearing the mask the right way. So here's to encouraging all of y'all to go out, get a little bit of air, enjoy the beautiful weather, and please wear your mask the right way. And practice social distancing. And if you can, please try to avoid large gatherings. Don't let all of the hype fool you to opening back up. I think they're just trying to push us back to work. Some of us are fortunate enough to work at home, but for people that are essential workers, it's still risky for them. And I think as a collective, as a people, I think we all need to be responsible in doing our part to stop the spread until the government comes up with some type of vaccine and make sure that there's testing available for everybody. I think we still have a responsibility to take all precautions and do things within reason. Don't put your life at risk because you feel like, oh, I want to go see you could go see your friends and family, just drive by them, come up with a creative way to see people while also exercising social distancing. And if it's not that serious, don't make it that serious, please. Yeah. So on that note, video 3, Kenny In The Kut. Shout out to everybody that's been following. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but it's been the end of the semester and I've been in over my head with work. I'm trying to finish up my coursework for the semester. This is why you see the beard. It's fully back now because it's been a real past. It's been a real semester. It's been a hectic last couple of weeks, but I'm doing my best. So today I wanted to talk about I guess you could say the process and the journey. Everybody got their own journey. Everybody got their own story. Y'all heard me talk about that a lot before. But I think I wanted to use this video to try to expound on it a little bit more because, especially in these times, I think a lot of us are looking at this as a pause of some sorts. Some of us are, busy trying to reinvent ourselves. Some people are trying to shed their old skin to come out of this particular pandemic a better person than they were when they came inside, and that's commendable. That's admirable. And if you're able to do that, I strongly encourage you to. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better. I don't think any human being decides one day, says, you know what, I don't want to be better. I just want to be here. I'm fine where I'm at. Every human being has an innate want and an innate desire to be better than they were the day before. And usually when that doesn't happen, I see, in the context of the society, this society could beat the dreams out of you. I've seen it. I've seen it happen to the people close to me. And they try to come at me a couple of times. And I'm still here. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like that I'm exempt. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it ain't never going to happen again. Because there's a lot of things that we want to do in our lives. And there's always somebody telling us that we can't do it. There's people that's telling us that we can do it. Or there's people that's telling us that, are we sure to do it? Now, if you ask me who to listen to, I'm going to tell you, like, yo, listen to your gut. Listen to your instincts. Because they never lead you wrong. at the same time, it's very important for you to understand that whatever you decide to do, there's a process, there's a journey. It's not going to look like anybody else that was on that journey before you, because your journey was meant to be different. Don't ask why, just know that it was meant to be different. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it, and if everybody's journey was the same, there would be no story. And it's in the story where we set things apart, where we set ourselves apart. It's our individual stories that set us apart. And, you know, y'all got an opportunity to write your individual story every day you wake up. I didn't truly understand that when I was 17, but I read a lot at the same time. Like, to me, it wasn't necessarily me. I'm reading stories, but I wasn't thinking about it as their story. And it wasn't until later on when I would sit back and I would reflect on some of the books that I read, and I was really thinking about what the protagonists went through, and I'm like, yo, that was their story. And it's important that we take pride in it every step of the way, even when we're dealing with our struggles. Not sitting here telling you to glamorize them, but you have to understand your struggles are going to be what make your story your story. And you have to appreciate that in your journey. And you have to understand that the one thing that's part of the process is you're going to deal with obstacles, you're going to deal with challenges, you're going to deal with BS, you're going to deal with drama, you're going to deal with a lot. Some of it's going to be ups, some of it's going to be downs. Some of it's going to be right in the middle. You're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to get the best and the worst of both worlds, I should say. But no matter what happens, man, like, just remember, you stay with it. A lot of y'all are on your task journey to get y'all degrees, right? To get y'all high school diplomas. The way y'all got here wasn't the same, and I say that to say that the circumstances in certain aspects might be the same, but you as an individual, that's what makes the story unique, because it's you going through it. Certain things might change here, certain things might change there, but at the end of the day, it's still your story. You have to own that story. You have to own that story, and don't ever let anybody make you feel like you should be ashamed of your story. That's part of your process. The only way you able to appreciate your goals is if you appreciate your process, if you appreciate your journey. Don't just use it. Don't just use your journey as a way to come up. Use it as your story. Use it as your story to inspire people under you, or just to let it be known that this is who you are, because your story and your journey is going to always be a part of who you are. And the one thing that you always have to also understand is, during that story, like, you have to respect the grind. Like, you gotta respect the grind. You can't celebrate. Like, you can't own a snack company and expect people to give you your money if you're not putting the snacks in the bag, right? You gotta put the snacks in the bag first, then you go sell it. So that's basically the process. That's a process, and even when you put those snacks in the bag and you go sell it, nobody's entitled. You're not entitled to people's support. You have to earn that. Everything on the process, everything on the journey is earned. It's not what you're owed and what you're entitled to. I feel like we're owed human rights. I feel like we're entitled to human rights, but does that mean we get it? Not in this society, as you can obviously see if you've been watching the news. But in a general sense, speaking of entitlement, like, you can't, you got to put in the work. You got to pay your dues. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, it's the problem with the younger generation. The younger generation don't pay dues. They feel like they entitled to stuff. I'm like, look, I meet people my age who feel entitled to stuff. I meet people twice my age that felt like they entitled. Entitlement does not discriminate, because there's generations that feel like they owed something. Everybody, one way or another, you bump into people that always feel like they owed something, and I'm here to tell you, like, yo, it's easy to make a case that you owed something. If you speak with enough conviction and you speak with enough passion, it's easy to make a case to say that you owed something. But in reality, like, yo, nobody's even gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to find a way to earn it and find a way to get it. And not for nothing, it's really more so about putting in the work, doing your best to be prepared, doing your best to, do your homework, do your due diligence. Because if when you on your journey, you got to make sure that you staying on point. That's part of staying on point. The preparation's part of staying on point. You know what I'm saying? What you owe, it don't even matter. And when I say it don't even matter, it just means in the grand scheme of things, if it's not rightfully yours and the universe don't want you to have it, it ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can't expect people to put you on just cause you show up. You can't expect people to put you on because it's like, yo, I'm here, put me on. A lot like y'all gonna be entering a competitive globalized workforce. For every one person, there's about 40 other cats trying to do the same thing. There's so many lanes that are occupied. At the same time, there's so many lanes being created. The most important thing is you got to find your lane. And once you get in your lane, you got to drive in that lane. You got to drive in that lane. You can switch out when you need to and then switch back in, if you have to do that. But once you find your lane, you got to stay with your lane and you got to stay with it. You got to stay with it. And you're not entitled. You're not entitled to cut past anybody. You're not entitled to, just because, so and so, my uncle worked for this company, so like that nepotism. Some of y'all might not even be fortunate enough to have access to that. And we know that. So that's why it's like, yo, just put in the work, because I promise you, when you put in the work and you trust the process and you appreciate the journey and you ain't worried about like, yo, blase blah, they owe me this, they owe me that, you're gonna appreciate it better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even, not for nothing, man, you don't even want people, like, sometimes when people hand you stuff on a platter, you can't even really appreciate the true value of it. When you work for something, and we don't. I'm not trying to romanticize hard work, because it's hard work, smarts, and luck always play into success. A little bit of each. A lot of hard work. A lot of dedication, a lot of focus, but also luck. Like, luck does, like, sometimes the chips gotta fall into place. Timing, those things matter. But you don't ever want to get caught up on what you owed. And not for nothing, if you feel like you owed something, then you need to reevaluate. You need to reevaluate, ask yourself questions. Do I got everything I need? Am I stepping through the right way? Even if it didn't work out for me, what can I do better next time? That's part of the process. I went on millions and millions of jobs. I went on like hundreds of job interviews. It came to the point where I was like, yo, I don't even care if I got the job. I would use that interview. I would use the interviews to better my interview skills, and I would use it to understand, what employers would ask of me depending on the position that I was applying for. So I taught myself how to adjust during my journey. You know what I'm saying? How to improve on the skills that I needed for myself in order to get to where I want to go. And I wasn't like, I know for me, personally speaking, I ain't never, everything I got, I earned on my own. I had help, but at the same time, I know I did a lot of the heavy lifting. And the one thing that y'all gonna have to understand is y'all gonna have to do a lot of y'all heavy lifting. You're gonna have your support. You're gonna have support with your inner circle, with your family, loved ones, what have you, your network. But overall, you're gonna have to do the heavy lifting. And you know what I'm saying? The more you understand that you got to do a majority of that heavy lifting, the less you're gonna have to worry about as far as questioning stuff on your journey. You know what I'm saying? The more respect you have for the process, the less you're gonna worry about what you're owed. You know what I'm saying? The more you focus on the mission at hand, the less you're going to be sitting there worrying about, what the next person got and what this person got. Let me tell y'all something. The grass ain't greener on the other side. No, the grass is greener on the other side. Let me rephrase that. The only reason why the grass is greener on the other side, because the people on the other side are watering the grass. You got the same chance to water your grass. That's all you need to focus on. Focus on the process of watering and nurturing your grass so it can be just as green as next door. Appreciate that journey for your grass to get green. Don't feel that you're entitled for your grass to get green because you live on the same block as people that have green grass. You still have to work on making your grass green. You got to work on cultivating your harvest. In social studies, you read a lot about agriculture and all that. It's a process. It's a connection to the earth. And the one thing that I've always gotten from reading about that is the fact that there is a process. There's a process from the time the seeds go into the ground. Before the seeds go into the ground, there's a process. Making sure the earth is ready for the seed. Putting the seed in the ground, cultivating it, watering it, maintaining it, making sure it grows. That's the whole process. There's not at one point in that journey does the farmer feel entitled to their crops growing. They're just hoping for a really good harvest. And they're going to follow that process and have faith that if I do things the right way, then everything is going to work itself out. And then they fall in love with the work. They fall in love with the journey. I'm not saying everybody going to fall in love with their particular journey or their particular task. But at the end of the day, the most important thing that you got to understand is your life is your patch of grass. Water your patch of grass. The grass might not always be greener on the other side, and if it is, it's because it's been watered. Water your grass. Don't worry about the end. Just trust the process, follow the process, and enjoy the journey. And what you're owed will come to you because of the work that you put in. And on that note, this is Mr. Gene. Shout out to P2G family. Much love to everybody. I'm out.